Hi, my name's Laura. I read a lot of crime novels and I thought I would just share with you some of my favourite detective series. So first up is Chris Carter. I'm a huge fan of Chris Carter. His series, Robert Hunter, is so dark. The murders are so grisly. So if that's the kind of thing you like, definitely check out his Robert Hunter series. So good. Then I've only read one of these so far, but this is Kara Hunter in the Dark. I read the first one, which is called Close to Home, and I finished that very recently on my Kindle, and I picked this one up from the library straight over to the second book. I think there's 7 books in this series and I'm really excited to carry on with that one. There's MJ Arledge. I was a huge fan of MJ Arledge. This was the Helen Grace series. This is another one where I think there's like 7 or 8 books, and I must admit the first few that I read I really enjoyed, and as I've gone on to read other crime thrillers that are a bit more grisly and a bit more like terrible murders and horrible murderers, I've gone off these a little bit, but I do still always pick up a new one, and they're so fast paced, really short chapters, just everything you're looking for in a crime novel. This is another one that's fairly new to me, M.W. Craven and his Poe and Bradshaw. Yeah, the Poe and Bradshaw. This is a duo who are like this really grumpy old detective. I don't think he's old. This really grumpy detective and this like technical whiz kid who's got no social skills, and she's kind of being picked on at the start of the first book by everybody at the police department, and he sort of takes her under his wing and they go and solve crimes together. But this is another one that's really grisly. Like all of them, that's my taste. I like a murder with a lot of graphic detail in the murders, so that's, you know, if that's the kind of thing you're looking for, that's good. Completely different thing is the Richard Osman Thursday Murder Club series. This is really good. It's very cutesy, cozy, very kind of Agatha Christie vibes rather than any grisly murders. They're more just sort of fun. The characters in it are really good and I really enjoy these. There's also another one, I can't remember the name of the author, but it's the Marlowe Murder Club. That's also really good. That's like 3 women, an older lady who's like a little bit crazy and lives in this mansion, a middle-aged woman who's like a little bit more common, a bit more like salt of the earth type, and then a vicar's wife, and the 3 of them all kind of come together to solve murders that happen in the town. And that's a very similar vibe to the Thursday Murder Club, if that's the kind of thing you're looking for. And then the final recommendation I've got is Karen Rose. So these ones are massively long, but I get through them really quickly. They are very well plotted, fast-paced thrillers. They are crimes, but it's more sort of like somebody who's a bodyguard or something along those lines, like security for somebody. But these are like thriller romances, and they've got these really like heavy scenes that I flick through because that's not really my kind of thing. But that's these are really good and really fast paced, and I recommend them to everybody who likes thrillers. In a similar vein is the J.D. Robb In Death series. They are futuristic, like they're set in the like 2030, 2040, but they started coming out in like I think the late 90s, so they're like really futuristic at the time, and they are also very much police procedural murders, but they have very like there's usually like 3 or 4 like really graphic sex scenes in them, which is another one. I just like Eve Dallas, the detective, and she's got this like really rich love interest who, there's like 50 of those books, there's so many of them, but they're all really good, and they've got like all this futuristic tech to kind of solve the crimes. So those are just like a little random handful of detective series that I read regularly that I enjoy, that I just thought I would share with you.